Hey everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things, and today I have a book review for you. Oh, I just have a plain white cup today. Um, at this moment, my house is very quiet because my husband took the kid on some Pokemon Go hunting thingy, and with some friends, and it's early, so I'm gonna make a book video. Um, I am going to be reviewing The Stonewalkers by Vivien Alcocks. Um, it was on the preteen teen reading challenge, so I'm just checking those off, aren't I? I can get through those so fast. First, I'll read the back of the book for you, and then I will give you my thoughts. Also, 70th book that I've read this year, and yeah, I'm just cruising along, not reading any of the books that I need to read. But this was one of them that I needed to read. But you know what I mean. Okay. The Stonewalkers by Vivien Alcocks. It says Poppy Brown has such a tendency to make up stories that only her loyal friend Emma believes the amazing news Poppy tells her. One of the statues on the estate where her mother works has been struck by lightning and has come to life. Belladonna, as Poppy has named her, has disappeared into the moors. Onto the moors? Sorry, it says onto the moors. With other statues following her. Fascinated, Poppy and Emma set out to track down the stone figures, but soon their amazement turns to terror. Belladonna and her friends have become spiteful, semi-human beings, and believing the girls are enemies. Captured and threatening them. How can Poppy and Emma escape the heavy, menacing figures who know nothing of pain or hurt or kindness? Um, this has a few reviews on it. One is from a school library journal best book. And Voice of Youth Advocates says the author's ability to build a suspenseful plot will undoubtedly keep all readers engrossed until the novel's end. And Kirkus reviews another offbeat English tingler from the author of The Haunting of Cassie Palmer, with no doubt this time that things strange and awesome is loose, vigorous and close textured. This book was written, it was first copyrighted in Britain in 1981 and then in the US in 1990 of June. I do want to start before I get into my stuff saying that some of the stuff that happens in this book did not age well. Also, they use the word damn in this book, and it was said to be a children's book. I know some people don't care about that. I don't care about that. But I know some people care about that, and I just wanted to let you know that if you were going to let your kid read this, just know that that word is in here. I think hell is also in here, but it's like I don't remember. Anyway, so let's move on to my journal. Oh, I haven't written down. I literally finished this book last night. I didn't write it down in my little uh shelves yet. I didn't write down the other book that I finished 2 books yesterday. I finished the Dresden File book that for July. I was listening to it, and then after I was done listening, I was like cleaning and doing my nails and stuff, so I had to listen to something. And then after that, I just finished this book. This book took me a long time to read. Okay, so it is on the 2026 Preteen Teen Reading Challenge. It was number 7 on here. And if I can get over to the... Here. I wrote it in purple. Just because it was the closest pen. Stonewalkers. Oh, title. Stonewalkers. Author, Vivien Alcocks. I started this... Technically, I didn't start it. But I pulled it out to read on June 30th, 2026. I finished reading this July 11th. That was yesterday, 2026. I gave this 3 stars, and I almost didn't give it 3 stars. I almost gave it 2 stars because the first half of the book... No, okay. You have exciting, like the first few chapters. First chapter, it was just kind of... Look, it said that it was the hottest day of the year whenever it started, and I was like, okay. And the book felt like trying to read outdoors whenever it's super hot. Like, I just didn't want to read this book. It was not interesting until the end. Like, the halfway through the book, it picked up. But for the book this small, it shouldn't... I don't know. I feel like the whole thing should have been exciting. So would I recommend it? Maybe. This genre of this book is middle grade children's fantasy. And like I said, some of the stuff in this book didn't feel like I wanted my child to read it. It felt like it was more geared toward teenagers. It had 151 pages and 18 chapters. I didn't write down what else was by this author because I know she wrote a lot of things, but I don't know. And I didn't look it up. My favorite character was Mrs. Robbins. You can tell that I was writing this with fingernails that were still wet with nail polish. Just I'm like looking, things are like messy and like off to the side. Anyway, I put summer, July, hot. They don't let you forget that it's summer and that it's hot. I think it's mentioned... Oh man, it's mentioned a lot. The statue walked away. I'm just going to read you my review, how I wrote things. The statue walked away. She thinks of a girl she wants to be her friend as a fat girl. That seems strange. Ooh, Weeping Angel vibes? Did Doctor Who people read this? Some of this didn't age well. First, this guy accuses the girls of stealing a heavy stone angel. Then he calls them angels in a kind of creepy way, telling Emma she's nice and cuddly and none too fat. I was like, ugh. Why did Emma take over the search if she didn't really believe Poppy? Just to be bossy? OMG, these girls are so mean to each other. They also say damn a lot. Statues are kind of scary. They don't understand English. Poppy's life, her life has been sad. Little Rob's dad is a drunk. Poor kid. It says, like, yeah, I'll talk more about that when we get to it. Little Rob's dad is a drunk. Poor kid. But why was it necessary for Rob to be in this story in the first place? What the heck are the statues doing in the mine? Statues killed themselves. How strange. Poppy decides she's going to try and be a better person and stop lying. And then the girls are found. The end. um, that's it. That's what I wrote. So now I'm gonna kind of do some spoily stuff. But like, if I stop here, this video would be so short. That's the book when it opens up. This is literally the first. This is the first like paragraph. Okay. It was summer of sodden. It was a summer of sudden storms. The first storm came Wednesday, July 1st. Oh. The first storm came one Wednesday in July. Hot. It was the sort of day when the earth cracks, dogs run mad, and even friends are best avoided. The sky, which only half an hour ago had been dry blue, now thickened with dark clouds. Soon it was going to rain very hard, and anyone caught far from shelter would be soaked to the skin. This is how this book started. If I picked this up when I was in middle grade, I would have been like, meh. Actually, I felt like that whenever I picked it up as a 35-year-old, almost 36. And if it wasn't on my challenge and if it wasn't so small, I would not have read this. That's how you open. And it just continues kind of droning on, and there's this girl on the grass at the foot of a statue. Her name was Poppy. She was a liar. Okay. There's a little talk about the different kind of lies that she's told. Oh, my mother is a trapeze artist. My father is a hunter. He's gonna take me with him. My brother is in jail. Like, all of this stuff. But truthfully, her mom is sick. And so every time her mom has to go to the hospital, I don't know what kind of hospital she's going to. Is it rehab? Is it a psych ward? What? She gets orphaned out is the only thing I can say. Like, she has to go to different foster homes and talks about the different foster homes. And she's with her mom now. And she calls her mom Mother Brown because that's their last name. And mom is like, no, just call me mom. I am biologically your mother. That is what you should call me. And in Poppy's mind, she's like, I've had so many mothers. And fathers. So she's new to this area. She has no friends. She's made fun of at school. Then it opens up, the next chapter? Wait. She gets home with this alive statue, and they hear her mom and one of the other maids for this house that they are working in hear loud noises. And so Poppy comes running in, and she's like, I need help. I don't know what to do. I need help. And, they're like, oh my gosh, you're soaked. What's wrong? And she tries to tell them the truth. And both of them are like, pfft. And her mom is like, I should give you a spanking and send you to bed. And Miss Robbins, who is my favorite character in this whole thing, she's got a bit of an accent. It's hilarious. She's like, oh, you better get her in a hot tub first so that she doesn't catch her death. Because she's soaked with cold rain. And they don't believe her because by the time they get back to where Poppy left her statue, Belladonna, it's not there anymore. It's somewhere in the house. And then Poppy's like, oh my gosh, Belladonna probably thinks that we're like murderers because like she looks around and the person that they're staying with, this old guy, he collects things. And so he has a bunch of little, like, figurines and heads, like, porcelain heads and stuff, all, like, decorating his house. And she's like, Belladonna probably thinks we want her head. And then the next thing you know, she's sent to bed without food, obviously, because a chair is broken. When we meet Emma, her friend, they're not very good friends, to be honest. Let's see. By afternoon, the haze had cleared, and it was blazing hot outside. The fat girl's face shone like an apple. Poppy felt like biting it. I'm sorry, said the fat girl. I didn't mean to get you in trouble, but how was I going to know that it wasn't true? Poppy did not answer. On the far side of the lawn, Mr. Shepherd, the gardener, was bent over a shrub. Although it was impossible for him not to see her, Poppy felt that he had turned his back on her. He was not her friend. So then there's talk about how, the lie that this girl had asked about, or, like, went and talked to her mom about, was about her uncle. Then after, she's like, how was I supposed to know that that wasn't true? Like, I wasn't supposed to bring it up to your mom. How was I supposed to know? And then she's like, are you ashamed of your mother being a cook? Are you a snob or something? And all of that stuff. And then the lie ended up being that Mr. Hunt, the one that her mom works for at this mansion that they're living in, was her uncle. He used to be the head of an art thief gang, and that's why he has all of this stuff. And there's a chance that he's her illegitimate father. And I'm like, that's gross. I'm sorry. What? These are 12-year-old girls. Why is she even thinking this? And Poppy's just like, it was a joke. And the other girl, we still don't know her name. We just know her as the fat girl for, like, pages, by the way. Pages! We know her as the fat girl. And I was like, why? I don't like that. Anyway, so why is she here, first off? We don't know how she got there, why she's here. Did Poppy invite her over? Did she just come over on her own? Like, we find out that she also doesn't have very many friends. And, Poppy is trying to get the girl to understand that there used to be a statue here. And then we find out her name is Emma. And, she sees the foot indentions in the grass where the stone statue had walked. And, first she looks at Poppy's foot and looks back at, she's like, well, it's definitely not your foot. And she's like, yes, well, Mother thinks that I used a pogo stick. And she's like, how would I have, how? Do you see the shape of that? I can't even stay on my pogo stick for one jump. And all of this stuff. And so they kind of have this moment where they're kind of like understanding, she's, it seems like Emma is on her side. And then, after pages of them talking about that, Poppy is like, so do you believe me? Or so you really believe me? And she's like, I believe you today. What? And she talks about how on Thursdays she just believes everything. Today's a believing day, but if it was Friday, she wouldn't even be here. And then they have a whole spat. She said, okay, so it says, do you believe me? And Emma says, I believe you. On Thursdays, I believe everything. Today is my believing day. Will you believe me tomorrow? Emma grinned and shook her head. I doubt it. It's a bit too fantastic for Friday, I'm afraid. And so she's like, what? And she has this whole moment. She's like, she never believed me, and she didn't believe me after all. And she was just being sly and horrid beast. So she probably couldn't wait until next term started, and then Poppy could already see it. A little group of girls who stopped talking when she approached. The exchange of glances and the giggles smothered behind their fingers. She would never live this down. Unless she got there first and told everyone that, do you know why old Podgy's so fat? It's because she'll swallow anything she's told. And Emma would find out, too, could play this game. But what a dirty game it was, she thought, ashamed. Why had she ever let Emma into her secret garden? She looked around sadly, with the grass crushed and tumbled, and the statue gone, and Emma was on the pedestal where the statue was. I wish I'd never brought you here, she said. Oh, is this your special place? Asked Emma. Have I spoiled it for you? I'm sorry. She gets down awkwardly. I didn't mean to. I thought you were lying. Only, it's a bit well. I suppose you'll tell them all. Who? At school, you'll tell everyone. Of course not. What do you take me for? We're friends now, aren't we? Aren't we? Poppy hesitates because she's never had a friend before. Oh, why are you always so standoffish? Don't you want to be friends? If not, it's not as if I need another friend. Nor have you. You don't have any friends, says Poppy. That's it. I see it all now. I think you think I'm a reject, like some sort of leopard. Why would I hold you back? Afraid to be contaminated. If you're seen with me, I suppose. And then there's this whole, like, rant. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. And then she's like, fine, goodbye. And she pushes through the bushes and she's gone. And then Poppy sits there and she starts crying because she's like, I really just wanted someone to believe me. I'm not lying. And then after she thinks of some proverbs, let's see. A friend is not so soon gotten as lost. And make not thy friend thy foe. A friend is another self. Those were no comfort to her. But then the bushes rustle and Emma comes back and she's like, I thought I'd give you one more chance. For your sake. Not for mine. I'm just like, and Poppy's like, okay, let's go look in my cellar now. What? And then later in the book, they have a whole blowout again because they're riding their bikes and they get lost, and because Emma took charge and she was trying to tell them where to go, and she keeps saying that it's all Poppy's fault. It's all Poppy's fault. Like, they got lost. You have the compass. And then they have a big row. They yell at each other and all that stuff. And Emma is trying to pedal away but get the last word, and she's turned looking back over her shoulder and she hits a big rock, and then she takes a tumble, hurts her shoulder and her ankle. And then Poppy stays with her. Like, but the whole time, the whole book, they bicker. And I'm like, why are they even trying to be friends? And then when Rob shows up, he's there for like a chapter. They hear someone running towards them, and Poppy reaches out and grabs him. He's like 9 years old, running around at night, by the way. It wasn't a bad book. It just had some, like, for such a short book, it felt like it was way longer. That's my thoughts. I could just read the whole book to you. I don't know anything else about these books. there is, in this book, there's also talk of child abuse. Not really. Not really child abuse. Child abuse. Not like, okay, so she gets sent to bed without dinner, but um, then her mom brings her 2 biscuits and some milk. Okay, so it's like she's not being starved. She's just not allowed to have the good stuff that everyone else is having. Um, but there's talk about later you have her mom's inner thoughts and how she's so upset that she doesn't love Poppy more, or doesn't know how to show that she loves Poppy more than she does, because she's never been that touchy-feely sort of person. And Poppy has been known to be a liar. And so every time she's caught at school lying, and like it's like the principal gets involved or the headmaster or whatever they call it there, she has to be punished. And so she gets occasional spanking, or she gets the belt is what she says, or makes her grovel and pray to God for forgiveness. And there's talk in this book about, is God real? And Poppy isn't sure if she believes in God, and Emma's older brother says that God is not real. He is just something that people make up to make them feel better about themselves. Because there's a part in the book, Poppy is like, I swear to God, he can strike me with lightning if I ever tell a lie again. And then, like, a storm is rumbling off, and she's like, and so there's this part in the book, that part was funny. There's a part in the book where her mom and Miss Robbins thinks that she's sick because she's like trying not to say anything because she's afraid that she's gonna lie. And so, like, all day she's like, the meal tasted great. Or, like, I thought that the potato part of this meal was good. Like, very careful with her words and talking slowly and like thinking through things before she speaks. And she does that all day, even with Emma. And then finally, like, there's this like snap. It's when right before they blow up, and it's pretty funny, that part when like you hear her inner thoughts. She's like, um, but yeah, that's that book. This is a short video because I don't know what else to talk about this book, because I I mean, it's 151 pages and it wasn't really that great for me. Um, and like I said, I didn't understand why Rob was in this book, because he runs to them, he screams whenever because they're hiding in like a little cave looking thing, and then the statues start walking by, and there's a lot of them by now, and he screams, and that's all of the things turn to him, and then between Emma and Poppy, Emma lights a fire. Poppy is trying to distract them the other direction, and they tell Rob to run, and so he runs and he goes straight home, and he tries to wake up his dad. His dad is on the couch, and you have this whole. There was like a whole chapter that I was like, why is this in here? Why is this in here? I was like, why do we need to know that he ran home and he tried to wake up his dad, and his dad was drunk? And there's all these little details. You see that someone had to have brought him in because they covered him and they have his shoes off and they put a bowl next to him in case he threw up. And so Rob tries to wake up his dad, and his dad is like, you get on, go to bed, and if you keep messing with me, I'll switch you. Um, so he just goes upstairs and gets under his covers. That's a whole chapter. Like, what? Why? Wait, why? We do not need this chapter. The end was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. The statues take Emma and Poppy to a mine and put them up on a shelf in the mine, like, a shelf of rock, not like bookshelf. No. And they start, like, when we get to look down at the statues, they're like having like a whole meeting, I guess, on what to do. We can't understand them. They're just that's how it's. They hum to each other, and Poppy's like, they must be communicating somehow, but I can't understand them, and they can't understand me. And then they're taking turns being in the middle and humming. And there's, fist pounding and going on. And finally, Poppy's like looking around. She's like, okay, if we just climb a little bit higher, they can't reach us. And that they do. And then one of the smaller little things gets set up there, and he starts climbing, but he's too heavy and he falls and he breaks. And then there's all chaos down there, and they start like hitting each other and stuff. I don't know. It was weird. I was like, but then a whole, like, there's like a cave in, but the girls are safe, I guess. I was like, what? It was weird. Um, that's my thoughts. Take that as you will. I am now. What am I reading now? What am I reading now? I know I'm listening to None of This Is True. It's my book club book. And I finished Dresden. I think I'm reading The Caretaker, but that one's a little creepy, so I can't read that one at night. And the opening itself, I was like, don't follow the footsteps. Don't follow them into the woods. Just stay inside with your doors locked. So I'm listening to None of This Is True, and I'm physically reading The Caretaker. It's one of the books for the Goodreads challenge, and my library is doing a thing. So if an adult checks out an adult book, they get a ticket to put in a drawing, and so now I have my name 2 times in. And I am reading what's it called? The Operation Robot Storm with my kid. We're about halfway through that book. So my shoulder just started hurting, guys. There was a pain. What? I'm not having a heart attack, right? It's just it's joint pain. Promise, I'm not dying. And then I'm also reading Heat Wave. That one was from June's TBR. I'm trying to think, am I reading anything else right now? Oh, Delicious in Dungeon. I have book 6 to read. I gotta get on that because they're due back at the library soon. Yeah. I also have, what's it called? Hold on. The first book in the Outlanders series. I guess it's the first book. It doesn't say it on here, but it's also going towards Goodreads. I'm on hold for a few books at the library. I had decided that I would, for the Goodreads challenge, I would read Voyage of the Damned and Mexican Gothic. Yeah, and then Onyx Storm if I ever get to it. If it ever I'm fifth in line. Okay, so for Voyage of the Damned, I'm first in line. There's one person, the person who has it now, and then me. Onyx Storm, I'm fifth in line, but there's 2 copies. So, yeah. I'm third in line for Mexican Gothic. And then just because, not anything else, I want to read Tourist Season, and I'm sixth in line for that. But yeah, I want to read Onyx Storm not only for the Goodreads challenge because I can use it as challenge faves, I think is what it says. But because I want to go to whatever the 4th book in the Fourth Wing series is going to be called. My one of the local bookstores is doing like an event, and I want to go to it. But I need to read the 3rd book. I mean, I don't need to, but I want to before that event if I get to go. Yeah. So I'm just reading, just reading. Yeah. It's really hot outside. Oh, and then I forgot to tell y'all. Where is it? I'll find it. Here it is. I am my little the little summer ween challenge bingo challenge thingy that I'm doing. I decided that for read outside, I'm probably gonna end up just reading next to a window because it was too hot outside. I had to mow the yard the other day and I almost died. Um, yeah. So, but read till midnight. I got that one down. We read till midnight every night. Um, what I'm gonna do. I just closed it. I don't know why I did that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write down the books on the back of my little piece of paper, and then I'm gonna tape it in after I'm done with the challenge, so that it's like an extra little piece of the book. I might print. You know what? No, maybe I'll just write it on the little squares. Anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. That's it. I am getting hungry, so I need to wrap this up before my stomach starts growling and you start hearing it. Because I haven't had breakfast. And yeah, so that is my review on this book and what I'm doing. And I don't know. Like this video if you like this video. Comment below. Have you read this book? Have you read The Stonewalkers by Vivien Alcocks? And have you read any other books by her? Are they all kind of the same, or should I try one of her other books later if I can find it? I don't even know. I've had this book for years. I don't know if I ever read it before, but I've read it now. I can check it off of the list of books that I read. And so comment below. What are you reading? What are you reading? Are you doing a summer reading challenge, or are you doing one of my book challenges? If you want to do one of my reading challenges, they'll be in the description along with this book. And if you use the link to buy this book, I do get a little bit of the money from the sales price. I'm an associate with Amazon, so just keep that in mind. I do appreciate it if you do use my links. Don't have anything else to say. Subscribe. If you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you can click my face bubble or click on my name, A Coffee Drinker's Review, and it'll take you to my channel. And you can go and check out some of my other videos. I have some playlists in case you want to narrow down what you watch from me. I do book videos. I do review videos. I started doing homeschool videos apparently. I do a lot of challenges, and I have books that are I have stuff that's for Halloween, but on the Halloween one, it is um like activities, crafts, and books all for Halloween. So, uh this is my first year doing a summerween, and so I don't really have very many suggestions on summertime horror because I normally just read normal horror all year round. And that's why I do the challenges to kind of break me out of my shell. Also, I have some books that I've never read before. I get them in like the grab bags, the fill a bag cells, or sometimes people will give me books, and I'm like, okay. My grandma gives me a lot of books, and I'm like, okay. Um, yeah. Eventually, I'll get to them, right? Well prepared for an apocalypse where only books will keep me safe. Um, if I have to stay inside for the rest of my life, I'm covered. And share this video because someone else might need to know about this book before they let their kid read it. Um, that's all I have to talk about. I will see you on my next video. Bye!